Lauren, and my story follows the theme of the family tree, and it's called Road Trip to New Hampshire. So in my family, my parents both have very different roles when they go on a road trip. My mom is a nurse, so usually she brings half the hospital with her, first aid kit, food, and everything like that. My dad's just kind of the go-with-the-flow fun parent. So one weekend, my dad decided that he was going to take us to New Hampshire by himself. And it was when I was about 12 or 11, and I have two younger sisters. And so after a long conversation, and my parents finally decided that we could do it, we packed up the car, we double-checked everything, we triple-checked everything to make sure that we had everything that we needed, and we headed up. The first thing I remember is as soon as we got on the highway, I had the worst headache ever. It was pounding, it was excruciating pain, it was the worst headache I've ever had. And I turned to my dad, expecting him to, have like ibuprofen or something, because my mom always has stuff like that. And of course he didn't have anything. So we were searching through the car and searching, and all we could find was children's grape cough syrup. And my dad said, oh, just take it, it's medicine, all medicine's the same. I said, Dad, no, that's not true, even I know that, and it's grape, and I hate grape, it's disgusting. But he made me take it. He said, I'm not going to hear you complaining the whole ride up. So I took it, and a couple hours later, we were off the highway, and my headache was still there, and then my stomach started hurting. And so we were driving off the highway, and it was the middle of winter, the roads were kind of icy. I said, Dad, come on, you got to pull over, my stomach's really bad, this is all your fault, your wonderful idea is not so wonderful. So he wasn't really expecting it, so he tried to pull over, but he was going a little fast. My dad likes to drive fast. And we slipped on some ice, and it felt like we were in the air for a really long time, and then we landed with a big thud. And we looked around, and I looked out the window, and I said, how come the floor is so far away? And then we realized we were on top of this giant snowbank. My dad said, okay, everybody climb out, we're digging out with our hands. So we started digging into the tires with our hands, trying to get the snow out, because we were literally on top. Like the tires were in the air, and the snow was on the bottom of the car. So we started digging and digging with our hands, and after like 20 minutes, we weren't really getting anywhere. We tried driving the car out, but it wouldn't move because the tires were on the ground. And so we were kind of just sitting there thinking about what to do. And my dad called my mom about 3 hours away and said, drive up with shovels. Drive up and try to help us. And so we were sitting there waiting for my mom, and then all of a sudden we hear this pickup truck go by, and it's beeping really loudly, and it pulls over. And the guy comes out and he says, oh, do you guys need help? And we said, yeah, we're kind of stuck. And he says, well, as a matter of fact, the same thing happened to me last week, and I vowed to myself that I would help somebody get out. So what he did is he tied a chain to the bottom of his car, and he tied it to our car, and he pulled us out, and it worked perfectly. We were in the car. We probably shouldn't have been, but no one got hurt, and we drove the rest of the way to New Hampshire. And ever since then, my dad has never driven us up alone, and I've never had great confidence.